Up next, the men's 5,000 meters. It's going to be a good one. You got the two big dogs this year. I can't believe I'm putting Nico Young as a big dog this year, but he is. Grant Fisher, your world indoor record holder. Nico Young. Graham Blanks. Abdelhamid made the team last year. Cole Hocker says he's going to make it this year. Parker Wolfe was third at the trials last year, just wasn't fast enough to make the team. And this event is the special event of intern Tate. Bring him on to break it down. Tate, welcome.
Thank you. If you take a look at the entries for the 5K at USA's, there's three guys that are pretty far and away at the top of the list: Fisher, Young, and Blanks. But obviously, you have that interesting component of the 10,000 on the first night. Um, and look, if you're like one of those guys, Fisher, Young, or Blanks, you're the class of the field, and then 10,000, you can probably run it how you want, jog around, and then rip the last few laps, save what you want for the 5K. But still, that's a decently tough 6 miles under your legs. And I think there's a really good um, second tier of guys that are right in the hunt that I think you shouldn't count out. I think a lot of people are overlooking Cooper Teare, which is crazy. I think in the last few years he's gone from like this kind of A-list American runner to kind of someone who people don't expect to make world teams. Um, but I think this could be a good shot for him to kind of uh, take advantage of the fact that they're doubling back. I mean, he's a sub 13 guy. And then obviously there's a whole myriad of kind of low 13, 13-10 guys who I think could use USA as a chance to like make a big jump and surprise some people in maybe a tactical race.
I probably shouldn't overlook these guys. Cooper Tears run 12:57 this year. He's won USA's in the 1500 in the last, what, 3 years? And like just total non-factor. It is so good right now. And Parker Wolfe on the entries, I was looking at the contest. He's just down there at 13:10. I'm like, oh, whatever. These guys are too good for him. And I'm like, wait, he was third last year, and no one expected that. So that's why we run these races, right? Even a guy like Morgan Beetlescombe, I think he's run three. Everyone's run 3:33 this year. I think he's run 3:33, 13:05. Like, is he ready to rip? I mean, that's the type of speed that type of speed can put you in contention the last lap.
On that speed note, you have Marco Langan, Nova guy. He's a 3:33 guy as well. Um, Parker Wolfe, obviously, as you mentioned, third last year, coming off a little bit of an injury in outdoors, but he ran 3:34 at Stumptown. He didn't win, but I think a 3:34 in a kind of comeback race should be pretty encouraging. For someone who's not really a miler, but definitely can get it done in the mile in the 1500. But yeah, and then Dylan Jacobs, I'd say, is kind of like a sleeper pick for me. I feel like he's a really consistent kind of like in the mix guy. I wasn't super encouraged by the fact that he kind of got dropped by, Rocky Hansen and Brian Massau at Sound Running the other week. But I like to think that might just be an off race, and I think he could deliver something good at USA's.
Yeah, I look at this event, and obviously, as you said on paper, Grant Fisher, Nico Young, and Graham Blanks are all significantly ahead of everyone else. They're actually the only three Americans ever who have run under 12:50 for 5,000 meters, and they've all done it this year. So the temptation is, oh, okay, they'll make it in the 10K, and then they'll just bounce back and all of them will make it in the 5K. But track and field just usually doesn't work like that. Usually at USA's, it's not the exact same team in the 5K and 10K. I'll have to look up the stats to see the lot. Maybe that happened. I'm not sure when the last time it happened, but I don't think it's been recent. So I feel like one of those guys isn't going to make it. I'm not betting against Grant Fisher at this point. Somehow at the Olympic trials last year when I was making my picks, I picked Kincaid over him. I thought Kincaid would outkick him in the 10K. I was suckered in by Cole Hocker's amazing 1500. I picked Hocker over him in the 5K. No, I'm not doing that anymore. Sorry, Nico, Nico Young and Graham Blanks, as good as they've been, I'm rolling with Fisher until someone proves they can beat him. But the other two spots, I really like Nico Young. He won a Diamond League. I mean, and kicked ass doing it. 12:45, closed really well. Beat Blanks convincingly in that one. He did get beat by Blanks in Paris, but he was going a little bit more aggressively there. So that kind of leaves Blanks as the guy maybe not to make it, which is an insult because he's run sub 1250 twice. And his last two races have been both under 1250. So I'm picking this guy not to make the team. He was ninth in the Olympic final last year, but at the same time, he's up against a lot of really good guys. And this race is in the middle of the afternoon. It's not going to be like crazy hot. I think the high is 79, but it'll still be warm and sunny. I'm thinking who can beat him. I think I'm leaning towards Parker Wolfe. It's interesting because Wolfe and Blanks last year, Blanks was injured in the winter, kind of came on late, and then really upped his game at the trials. He was fifth at NCAAs and fourth at the trials. Just losing to Wolfe. Wolfe's now in that kind of situation. He was injured, and he's trying to come on late. I think I'm going with Wolfe to beat him out again. But here I'll give you guys a long shot. No one's discussed yet. Sam Gilman, training partner of Grant Fisher. He just missed a medal at World Indoors, was fourth at World Indoors, and he raced in the 3K at Grand Slam track in Philadelphia, the one that Nico Young won. He was second in that. It was an 8:01 race. Here are the guys he beat in that race. Kai Robinson, bronze medalist at World Indoors. Andrew Koskarin, who kicked really well earlier at the Grand Slam track Miami. He beat Graham Blanks by a second and a half. And he beat Edwin Kurgart, who won the Kenyan trials in the 10,000 meters. So, and he beat Ronald Clemoy, who's the Olympic silver medalist in the 5K. Granted, he's not running very well. So that's my sort of long shot is Sam Gilman.
A good mention, John. He shouldn't be a long shot, though. Fourth at World Indoors. Admittedly, after getting second at Grand Slam track, John, he did go to the Pablo Nurma Games and run 13:53 in a 13:03 race. But, like, intern Tate is still young and idealistic. I mean, he said a few good points, but I was just like, most of these guys, I'm like, why do they even have a pro contract? It was mean. But honestly, and we've had him on the podcast, and I shouldn't say this, but I can't help myself. I saw that Liam Murphy signed with Mike Smith's group in Flagstaff. He's going to be with, what's the name, John? All the Nike teams have the same goddamn name, so it doesn't mean anything.
Swoosh TC Flagstaff.
Well, if they call it Swoosh TC Flagstaff, that means something to me. If they just call it Swoosh TC, then it doesn't count. But he signed with Swoosh TC Flagstaff. I'm like, why do they need Liam Murphy? They've already got Ethan Strand and Parker Wolfe. Strand is better in the 1500. Wolfe is better in the 5000. You don't need another guy. So, anyways, Blanks is on this team. Fisher's on this team. That's a lock. The reason why, if this was a time trial, it would also be a lock for Young and Blanks. But it's not a time trial. And what are these guys, what are Blanks and Young's Achilles heel? The kick, where it used to be for Nico Young. He's a 350 miler. He won a Diamond League. He's on the team if he starts this race. Part of the issue is, though, if they make the 10, are they really hungry? Maybe they're just going through the motions. Blanks got outkicked last year by Wolfe. He's getting outkicked again here. 12:48 in a rabbit race is not what. This is a championship 5,000. We see all these Ethiopians get destroyed in those races. Now, I do think it helps him maybe that Fisher might want to get it going early. If I'm Blanks in this race and I get in the final, I push it first. I push it probably before 3,000. I take it at like maybe halfway, take it for a lap or two, and then expect Fisher to come over the top and just keep pushing it. So you're not going to have to lead the second half. Just get it going. And then either Fisher or Young will take it for you. So, but I think it's more interesting if we don't pick him. He'll have already made the 10K team. So who gets third? I like that Gilman pick, John. I mean, Wolf's injury must have been very, very minor for him to skip NCAAs. I think Miltenberg felt a little guilty about him getting top 3 last year, not making it to the Olympics. So this year he's super cautious, doesn't run him NCAAs. I'm not sure who I'm picking for third, though. We got to make our picks, though, right now.
You guys are really high in Parker Wolfe. A 13-10 guy who hasn't raced in 2 months. He's raced once in 2 months. I guess he did get third last year, but last year Fisher and Nico were way better than everybody else, and then it was just the best of the rest.
People are freaking out about Graham Blanks and Nico Young, deservedly so, for how well they've been running. Do you remember who beat both of those guys in the NCAA 5,000 final last year? And at the Olympic trials, Weldon? Parker Wolfe. Who, oh, by the way, is also younger than both of them. So, yeah, there's a reason why we're high on this Parker Wolfe guy.
Very weird that Weldon is disparaging him.
And skipped NCAAs. And has raced once in 2 months. I guess you guys think it was just totally precautionary?
That's a valid concern, 100%. But look, I'm trying to have some fun with these picks, and I think it's just boring to pick the same team as the 5K and 10K. And I think it's very rare that you get the same exact team. So I think of those guys, who's most likely to miss out? I think Robert kind of nailed it. This is a championship-style race. Wolfe outkicked Blanks in the 5K at NCAAs and at the trials last year. I'm going to bet on him to do it again, even though that 334 was enough for me to say, okay, this guy's in pretty good shape. I think he'll be okay. So that is my team. Grant Fisher, Nico Young, Parker
But have
Wolfe.
we even talked about the more interesting name from a theoretical perspective? The Olympic goddamn
Oh, Cole Hocker.
the Olympic goddamn champion in the 1500, Cole Hocker. He said he wanted a double. We're discounting him because he's getting dropped in European races. But is he going to really get dropped in this race? If he was motivated, and if I knew that he was motivated to really go for this, it would be extremely hard for me to not pick him.
Right, and I think what we could have is a situation. I'm scared off by what happened at the trials last year. Is Hocker looked amazing in winning that 1500, and I was like, how do 3 guys drop him and beat him in the 5K? I just don't see it. I mean, that's exactly what happened, though. He couldn't hold on to the pace. He got dropped, and he wound up in 7th place. He ran 13:20. The winning time there was 13:08. And if the race is playing out as you sort of suggested, Robert, where maybe someone like Graham Blanks makes it a little quicker earlier, and then Grant Fisher does what he usually does, which is take off between 1600 and 1K to go, that is a scenario where I could see Cole Hocker getting dropped, especially if he's doubling back from a difficult 1500 final 24 hours earlier. So he's absolutely a guy to watch, but he didn't run very well when he ran the 5K in Stockholm in Europe. I'm just a little concerned.
I mean, last year he had run 7:23 for 3,000. But last year, John, I think a couple of us might have been picking him to win the whole damn thing. We're just like, he can't be beat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's crazy now because now you're like, wait, these guys, the 1240 guys, he's not there yet. And that sort of used to be the knock on Jakob. Like, what if they make it a really fast race? And I think Fisher's smart enough to know how far out he needs to go to try to push it. And he might have some interested compatriots like Blanks or somebody if he wants to make both teams. You just can't let the pace dawdle too much. And I don't know, a guy who's been really good at this event who we haven't mentioned, Abdi Hamid Nur. He's only run 13:34 this year. I guess also, has he broken 13 yet?
No, his PB is 13:03. I just don't have any proof that he's at the same level as he was last year when he was pushing Fisher to the line at the trials when he won USA's in 2023. If I knew that, I think it'd be right up there with those guys. But neither of his races this year have been very fast. I'm concerned that he's not fit.
Yeah, maybe I'm too caught up in the PBs of these guys.
What about Mark?
Okay, but I'm not picking Wolfe. I need a third pick. All right, Tate, who are your picks? Because are you on the Young and Blanks train? I mean, excuse me. the Young and Fisher train?
Okay, if I had to make my picks, Young and Fisher are locks in my eyes. Um, look, I think I've said this before, but like, there's like the fun pick, and then there's like, if you're a betting man and you're putting money on it, who would you pick? If I was a betting man, it's hard to bet against a 1248 guy in Grand Blanks, but I really do like the pick of Parker Wolfe. Um, he's just, I mean, you saw he did it last year, got third. I think he kind of just has that dog in him that he can do it again. Um, I wouldn't put it past him to be there in a tactical good finish, or even if they pick up the pace. Like, I mean, he's a 733K guy. He's clearly a fit guy. So I really like the Wolf pick.
Okay, I can't try to get clever and do like Morgan Beetlescombe or somebody like that. But I'm going to go Cole Hocker. Because it could be just like last year at the trials. We thought, oh, wow, he's just going to show this speed. I think he does have a little more endurance this year. We haven't seen the total greatness at the 1500, but also last year, we were picking him last year. He wasn't the damn Olympic champion in the 1500 either, right? Like, it's sort of crazy how, like, he's gone on to, if you told me he's going to win the Olympics and run 723, you're like, oh, wow, yeah, this guy's just dominating the U.S. ranks. And now we're like, oh, we're not going to pick him top 3 in the 5K. I am.
Yeah, he was not a 327, 723 guy when he ran the 5K final last year at the trials. All right, Robert, who's your top 3?
Same as you, John. I guess Tate too, right?
Okay.
We probably should say a few names just so we make. It's really bad if you don't even mention someone's name. Since
Is there anyone we haven't mentioned who could make the
damn
team
right.
yet? I'm pretty
At least
sure we
make it
covered all
damn
of them.
interesting. Marco Langdon, he listens to the podcast. He comes to the website all the time. He's probably been enraged hearing us talk for 10 minutes. He just ran 13:12 on July 9th in Europe, second in his race. And Rocky Hansen, 13:07. He's these are 19 and 20-year-olds who run 13:07 and 13:12. We don't even mention them.
I mean, they're interesting names. It's just really hard to make the team in 2025. Rocky Hansen's definitely interesting after running that 13:07 at the Sound Running meet.
Is Drew Hunter a crazy shout? Is he no chance for him?
I don't see him making this team just because the event is loaded, but he's been running pretty well this year. He ran 3:33 at the Sound Running event. You know, he was 4th at the trials last year in the 10K. I just think he could run a great race and get like 6th. It's just a stacked event at the moment.
He's the Weldon Johnson of this event. He doesn't have the standard, so even if he does do well, he won't be going.
Oh, you can chase the standard this year, though.
Wait a second, guys. Bad news. I did the spreadsheet for the contest. I don't see Rocky Hansen on it. I double checked here the entries. No Rocky Hansen. But we mentioned him anyway.
All right, moving on to the women's 5,000 meters.